Christopher, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
You are a licensed psychotherapist and author of The War on Psychotherapy, When Sexual Politics, Gender, Ideology and Mental Health Collide. You are a co-founder of the National Task Force for Therapy Equality, and you founded Voice of the Voiceless. So as a licensed psychotherapist, what observations do you make and what are the issues that stand out from the clients you meet?
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And the issues that I see most often with clients that come in for psychotherapy in my clinical work are feelings of incongruency between their faith and their sexuality or their sexual feelings and behavior. And so what we try to do at the Institute for Healthy Families, which is the clinical organization that I direct, is to help clients understand their sexuality, who they are as a person, how God created them, and then work with them to achieve their goals on what they really want for their life. You know, there's a common misnomer or common myth that, you know, the sexual attractions or sexual feelings that you have are hardwired, that it's something that can't be changed, something that there's no fluidity around. And what we do is we help clients understand the multidimensional aspect of human sexuality and how one comes to have attractions and feelings, and really looking at what's underneath the surface of why they have those attractions, and understanding oftentimes that there are unmet emotional needs, trauma, things that they can't necessarily see, but they understand to be a result of certain adaptations and maladaptations that occurred in early childhood and into adolescence that have brought them to where they're at today. And also to understand that there's hope, that healing can occur during the therapeutic process and they can achieve and realize their dreams.
Right. And what would you say is the driving force behind their search for help and support? Is it faith? Or have you had some who maybe were pressured by anyone? What is it like?
I think it varies from client to client. I think the vast majority of clients that come to us do have a faith component to their quest for understanding why they have these feelings and to see if there can be any resolution. Not all clients experience that. In fact, I have clients internationally and one client specifically in this country that we're in right now that is not religious at all. But really felt and believes that the sexual attractions that this client feels are not who he represents as a person. And so I think in many respects, it's an assumption that people come to this therapy by faith, but I think a lot of clients actually come to it because they're seeking truth about who they are and why they have the feelings that they do, and they're looking for answers.
Right.
And they're not getting those answers from mainstream psychology.
Right, so good. And what are some of the successes of the National Task Force for Therapy Equality thus far, would you say?
So the National Task Force was founded a little under 10 years ago in response to the overwhelming onslaught of LGBT activists seeking to ban licensed therapy for individuals, mostly minors, but now adults, that want to experience change in their sexual and gender identity conflicts. And so for many years, we have fought back on mostly the national level of the United States, but more recently, we've been working with international organizations like the IFTCC to provide resources and some training to help them understand the strategies of LGBT activists in passing therapy bans. The book that you mentioned that I wrote, The War on Psychotherapy, it literally details the playbook that LGBT activists have used over the last 10 years, and all the lies and misinformation that they use, and how they enact that through the mass media, through the political institutions and the educational institutions and the health institutions through the government, and then how they transmit those lies on a national and international level.
Right. Yes, and I got to witness your presentation yesterday, and it was really spot on, and it really did something to expose the strategies behind that. So well done.
Thank you.
What message would you bring to trainees at the IFTCC Learning who are really seeking to improve the quality of the support they offer?
Well, number one, the IFTCC website, which is being updated and it's quite fantastic. has just a wealth of information, and not only can you read articles from many, many years ago and understand some of the history of our movement and how things have evolved over the years, but you can also access so much video content and training from these clinicians from all over the world. And there's a wealth of information and different therapeutic techniques. We just saw Dr. Joseph Nicolosi, who's one of my colleagues, talk about the new reintegrative therapy dashboard, which is amazing technology. This afternoon, I'm going to be speaking about my family systems therapy approach, and I have an upcoming book and training program on that hopefully I'll bring back to the ITCC in a couple of years when it's launched. But the technology that we have today to help individuals, and for me, I help a lot of families with young people. The technology is just amazing. And through the internet we can share these ideas, and trainees can really access this information so much more easily than when I was training, 15 years ago, when the internet was still burgeoning. It wasn't what it is today. We didn't have access to, there wasn't YouTube 15 years ago, believe it or not. It was just a baby. But now we have, just amazing technology to use, and trainees can do that. Now, I would also say that it's also very, very helpful for trainees and interns and residents to really get good supervision from clinicians that have been in the field and doing this work for many years, because there's only so much you can gain from a video. Okay, to then talk with clinicians in supervision who understand and have been doing this for thousands of hours. It was a real benefit of mine to talk cases with the late Joseph Nicolosi. I remember sitting at conferences like this, and we would talk shop and talk cases and ask him just say, oh, I get this tough case and I have this issue, and he would say, oh, that's because of this and this, and it was so easy for him because he's been doing it for 30 years, right? So just coming to conferences like this, and then getting supervision and really going over cases and understanding the complexities of each client is very helpful.
Wow. Well, thank you for helping us to see the value of coming together and learning from each other's strengths. So that's really valuable advice. Thank you, Christopher, for being with us.
Thanks for being